I am so grateful to have this product in my life. AminoBoosters came into my life about 8 or 9 years ago, and I was in a place prior to that where my hormonal levels were completely off the charts. I was in a place of trauma and a cycle of being triggered and triggered over again and not being able to break free. And I was taking another YTE product before it that was less potent, and it got to the point where it was just unreachable and unmanageable for me to continue. And I'm so grateful that I actually found this one. This is the original and the tried and true. And it's taken me into a place where I can cope with stuff. My cortisol levels have been reduced. I've been frozen in time, so I get away with being 28, even though I'm 42. So I'm just so grateful that this product has given me freedom. It's given me a new lease on life, and I can do things that are really tough and I just continue fighting and doing it with a smile on my face. So I'm just so grateful to have AminoBoosters.
I've been taking the amino pills for a while now, and generally I feel that they give me more energy, especially considering a lot of the time I'm not getting a lot of sleep and I have to get up and perform to my utmost. I think one of the major benefits for me and my job that I've noticed is the speed in muscle recovery, and the comparison to how it was before and then after taking the amino pills was a lot better for me. So I would recommend that anybody take the amino pills, but especially hard-working mums like me. Thank you.
Okay, it might be useful for me to say just how bad my health has been over the past 2 or 3 years. I was suffering with severe migraines called hemiplegic migraines, and they're like the equivalent of having a mini stroke where half of your body goes quite numb, you can't necessarily see or hear properly, and they sort of knock you out with what's like a hangover for a good 2 to 3 hours, and the after effects can carry on for a good 2 to 3 days. I've been on the amino acids for over 12 months now, and I think in 12 months I've only had 1 migraine, which was a severe attack, and I was having up to 12 a month, so it's a huge contrast to where I was 12-18 months ago. The other big thing that I've really noticed with the amino acids is the energy levels. Previously, I think partly because of my headaches, I wasn't getting up before 10 o'clock every single morning. Now I'm actually waking up before my alarm clock goes off. I'm not tired in the afternoon, and I'm not even tired in an evening. Sometimes I can work and do a 12-14 hour day and my energy levels are still as fresh in an evening as they were first thing in the morning.
In recent years, my health had deteriorated with a faulty thyroid and various other ailments to a point where my muscles in my body were very painful and didn't really react properly to any nourishment that I gave them. I tried various different courses of action. A friend told me about this product, which is a hen's egg product, which is young tissue extract. So I thought I'd give it a whiz, you know, I tried most everything else. So it was quite remarkable actually, because even the first night I took it, I felt something going on in my head, and at the time I had a soft palate cyst in the roof of my mouth, which was really horrible. And I could feel like my sinuses, movement in my sinuses, and I was like, whoa, what is this stuff? But anyway, I carried on, and that seemed to clear up. The initial reason I'd taken it was to try and see if I could get my thyroid working again, because that was the one thing that was causing the problems, I believed, with the muscles. So we carried on, you know, persevering with that. About 3 weeks in, and incidentally I've been taking it for about over a year now, about 3 weeks in, I started to realise that my irritable bowel syndrome that I'd been diagnosed with years previously, and had just become part of my life, was starting to clear up. And it was like, ooh, this is cool. And I also started losing weight, which was great. And I started to notice that when I was doing physical work, instead of having the aching muscles that would just go into lumps, I was starting to have smooth muscle again, and it wasn't so achy, you know, and I could actually work on it and release them down where I hadn't been able to do that before. It was, you know, I could work on it for ages and it just wouldn't release down. So that was fantastic, you know, it was like, whoa. And the energy, wow.
I found that AminoBoosters has made quite a big impact in my practice. I am recommending it to a variety of clients. I have a lot of mums who are absolutely on their knees. I deal a lot with autistic parents. And at the end of the day, their job is 24/7. Nobody wants to rescue them, and they have no relief. And you know, some of them are really quite desperate. And they found that when they take AminoBoosters, they actually have the energy to continue. And for me, that is absolutely massive. They don't feel so downtrodden. They're actually sleeping better, and life isn't quite so grey as perhaps it was before. The other sorts of people I find do extremely well on AminoBoosters are people who are really stressed. I do a lot of work where I test people's digestion, their gut dysbiosis, and I find that where I see cortisol coming up really high in the testing, we know these people are stressed. They've got a tiger behind them the whole time, and when that occurs, the cortisol will strip the stomach lining faster than anything else. And so they're going to have gut dysbiosis and things like that. The AminoBoosters are amazing in that regard because they will help bring down the cortisol levels, they'll help bring down the stresses, and they can function. They're calmer, their digestion comes back, they feel more fulfilled in many areas because then they haven't got that tiger behind them. And that's a huge area. We have men who basically don't feel they're perhaps on their game in the bedroom. It's not something they like to talk about. And without having to go into you know, too many details, you can just go, try this. You might find you get your game back, and you know, it's great. And you end up finding that the men go away a lot happier, and sometimes it encourages the ladies too. And the ladies will take, you know, I say to my clients, you know, take 2 in the morning, take 2 in the late afternoon. But if they have plans that evening, we'll take 2 before bed. And they then hopefully have the most awesome all nights fun and pleasure, and wake up with a smile on their face over breakfast, which is what we all want to do. But it has many areas of benefits for people. Sleep's been another big one. People who are insomniacs, they can't sleep, and a lot of not sleeping can be because of stress. So if you've got the cortisol levels and you've got the worry from the stress, the two can go together, and again, the AminoBoosters have had a big impact on people in that regard. So right across the board, huge benefits with the AminoBoosters, very much part of my life personally, and very much now part of my practice for my clients.